New details coming out about the second assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump today, September the 15th, 2024. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the latest information coming out on this as new details are now rolling out. As we are hearing that the would-be Trump assassin has been ID'd as Ryan Ruth, who is 58 from Hawaii, sources say, giving us a little bit more information on his background. And also, this would-be Trump assassin, he actually has fought in the Ukrainian war and he supports war, they're saying. I'm going to give you the details as they're saying that he has provided lots of information. And actually, they said he didn't qualify for war, but just went over there, started fighting on his own and was trying to recruit people. And in addition to that, Trump, they're saying he has released a statement. I'm going to be sharing with you what it was that he had to say as he is saying, hey, I'm good. I'm going to share with you the exact words. He is still saying fight despite the second assassination attempt. I'm going to give you his exact quote here after he has had now another attempt on his life at his golf club in Florida today, September the 15th, 2024. And as always, these articles I'm going to be referencing have just recently come out. This is some of the latest updates. They're going to be linked in the description below so that way you can read them for yourself. I've got some here from the New York Post, from Newsweek, from the Associated Press, several different ones coming out here all across the news media outlets. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. They're going to be linked in the description below. As you know, I cite all the sources so that way you can see and hear the latest. So let me go ahead and dive right in. But before I do me a favor, I see we've got about 633 people on with me live with the new details coming out. Take a second. Hit that like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton, spreads this out further so more people can get the latest information. Also, subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? And also, I did a previous live with some updates coming out from Fox News about an hour or so ago, but more details coming out that I wanted to share with you. So let's go ahead and get right to it so that way you can get the latest. So let's start out with a little bit of information regarding this assassin's identification. Ryan Ruth, 58, from Hawaii. The alleged gunman, who authorities said targeted former President Donald Trump while he golfed in Florida Sunday afternoon, previously declared on social media that democracy is on the ballot this year and we cannot lose, echoing the anti-Trump rhetoric used by Vice President Kamala Harris and President Biden. So they are saying that he has been saying this on X, saying we cannot lose, democracy is on the ballot. And this is exactly what we had heard from Kamala Harris. So he has reiterated exactly what it was that she was saying and has used this as they're saying fuel to essentially do this assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Now, law enforcement sources identified the suspect as Ryan Wesley Ruth, 58. Ruth, who has a lengthy criminal record from North Carolina, frequently posted about politics and exclusively donated to the Democratic candidates and causes dating back to 2019. He also bashed Trump in an April 22nd post on X, which he declared democracy, in all caps, is on the ballot and we cannot lose. Now, this article also says he advised Biden, 81, in an April X post when he was still running for election to run a campaign around keeping America democratic and free. So supporting Biden, telling Biden to keep America democratic and free. He claimed Trump wants to make America's slaves against master. Make Americans slaves against master, he said in a post. Now, democracy is on the ballot and we cannot lose, he wrote, a similar slogan commonly used by President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. We cannot afford to fail, Ruth continued. The world is counting on us to show the way. This is the similar language that Harris continues to use on her campaign trail. On August 29th, she said at a rally in Savannah, Georgia, we are fighting for our democracy. On July 31st, she said at an event in Houston that our fundamental freedoms are on the ballot, and so is our democracy. After using identical wording at a sorority event that same day, Tom Fitton, president of the conservative legal group Judicial Watch, told the Post, it is no coincidence that Ruth repeated Kamala's and Joe's extremist rhetoric against Trump. At this point, it is an inexcusable incitement, they said. Spokespeople for Biden and Harris did not immediately respond to requests for comments. following the Trump assassination attempt in July, where the GOP nominee was wounded in the ear. He tweeted at Biden that he should visit the victims of the Pennsylvania rally where Thomas Matthew Crooks opened fire and attend the funeral of the 50-year-old volunteer firefighter who lost his life that day. You should visit the victims in the hospital of the Trump rally victims and attend the funeral of the fireman that lost his life. Trump certainly never would show the world what real leaders do, he said on July 16th. So this is the Ryan Ruth, his statement to Biden saying Trump would never go visit them. You should go visit them. Show the world what a real leader does, he said. He also tweeted at Trump in June of 2020 that while he supported the Republican in 2016, he was left disappointed by his tenure in the Oval Office. I and the world hope that President Trump would be different and better than the candidate, but we all were greatly disappointed, and it seemed that you are getting worse and devolving. Are you retarded? I will be glad when you are gone, he wrote in a statement. Man, so turning on Donald Trump pretty aggressively there. Ruth chipped in money for the Democrats running for office and liberal causes since 2019. Between September of that year and March of 2020, he continued more than $140 on the Democratic fundraising platform ActBlue and Federal Election Commission, the FEC filings show. The records did not list an employer. His LinkedIn showed that he attended North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, but relocated to Hawaii sometime around 2018. Ruth is described on LinkedIn as mechanically minded and enjoys ideas and innovation and creative projects with artistic flair. Ruth was spotted by Secret Service agents near Trump's International Golf Club, West Palm Beach, with a Soviet-style SKS assault rifle, according to sources. The agents opened fire on him, but he fled. Ruth was later arrested on the I-95 by local police. His social media account was also filled with nonsensical tweets and replies, while also voicing strong support for Ukraine in its war against Russia and Taiwan in its struggle against China. One reply on X owners Elon Musk seemed to entertain purchasing a rocket from the billionaire. I would like to buy a rocket from you. I wish to load it with warheads for Putin's Black Sea mansion bunker to end him. Can you give me a price, please? It can be old and used as not returning, Ruth wrote. He claimed on X that he tried to, quote, sell the idea of having former Afghanistan troopers fight for Ukraine in Russia, but was denied multiple times before giving up after 6 months. He also said that he visited Kiev and claimed that he would be willing to fight on the front lines if he were permitted to. Ruth was a supporter of Vivek Ramaswamy and Nikki Haley, according to one of his posts, in which he encouraged the Republican presidential candidates to continue their races. You cannot quit. Why? You must stay on the ballot to the end. You must fight. You must continue giving speeches and push all the way to the election day, no matter the election results. Do not give in. Join Nikki and keep working. Never give up, he wrote to Ramaswamy. They mentioned that he wanted to fight or was pushing for fighting and continuing war with Ukraine. A suspect in custody. This is coming out from Newsweek. After an apparent assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump at his golf course in West Palm Beach on Florida, the suspect was identified as Ryan Wesley Ruth, age 58, officials said to the Associated Press. CNN chief law enforcement and intelligence analyst John Miller reported Sunday afternoon that Ruth's social media accounts have focused on his self-proclaimed involvement in the war in Ukraine, including his supported efforts to recruit soldiers to fight in the conflict. Ruth also claimed to have fought in Ukraine as it continues to hold off the Russian invasion. Miller said that Ruth has been living in Hawaii and was formerly a construction worker in North Carolina. The suspect has also reportedly been previously arrested 8 times, mostly for minor offenses. Now, Ruth appears to have previously spoken with the New York Times about his efforts to recruit Afghanistan soldiers who fled the Taliban to fight in Ukraine. At the time of the report, which was published on March 25th of 2023, Ruth told the Times that he had spent several months in Ukraine in 2022. Now, a semaphore report published on March 10th, 2023, cited Ruth as the head of an International Volunteer Center, or IVC, in Ukraine, a private organization that works to empower volunteers and other nonprofit groups that work to, quote, enhance the distribution of humanitarian aid throughout Ukraine, according to the IVC website. Now, in June of 2022 interview with Newsweek Romania, Ruth spoke about his efforts to recruit volunteers for the International Legion Defense of Ukraine, a unit of Ukraine's ground forces. So this guy has actually been very active in his efforts with Ukraine and the war. The question as far as why I'm here, to me, a lot of other conflicts are gray, but this conflict is definitely black and white, Ruth said. This is about good versus evil. This is a storybook, you know. Any movie we've ever watched, this is definitely evil against good. The Associated Press previously reported that Ruth was convicted in 2002 of possessing a weapon of mass destruction per online North Carolina Department of Adult Correction records. While the documents reviewed by the Associated Press did not provide details about the case, a December 2002 story by News and Records in Greensboro, North Carolina, said that the man with the same name was arrested after a 3-hour standoff with police. That report said that Ruth was charged with carrying a concealed weapon and possessing a weapon of mass destruction, referring to a fully automatic machine gun. Wow. Now, Trump was playing golf Sunday afternoon at his Trump International Golf Course. Today, at around 1:30 p.m., a suspect was seen poking a rifle through a fence around the perimeter of the course. Rick Bradshaw, the Palm Beach County Sheriff, said at a press conference. Now, the suspect was near the 4th and 5th hole. This was 1 or 2 holes ahead of where Trump was playing at. Trump was between 400 and 500 yards from the gunman, the Sheriff Bradshaw said at the news conference. A U.S. Secret Service was 1 hole ahead of Trump's group on the course. He spotted the suspect in the shrubbery by the fence and immediately engaged with the individual. The officer opened fire. The suspect abandoned the weapon and escaped in a Nissan SUV. A witness told police that he saw the suspect running out of the bushes, jumped into a black Nissan vehicle on Bradshaw said. The witness took a photograph of the vehicle, which allowed police to track the suspect via the license plate. Bradshaw said the suspect had an AK-style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks hanging on a fence, and a GoPro camera as well. Photos shared by law enforcement show 2 black bags hanging from a chain-link fence in the shrubbery outside of the course, with the firearm propped up in between them and pointing through a gap in the fence. The GoPro camera was hanging on the fence to the side. The suspect fled in the SUV and was later apprehended in a nearby county without a weapon, law enforcement officials told the Associated Press. Police took the witness to the scene of the arrest, and the witness identified the suspect, Bradshaw said. Terry Barbera, a spokesperson for the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, said there was only one person of interest in the investigation who was being interrogated. Barbera did not have information about a possible motive at this time. Now, Trump has given a response. Listen to this. In an email to supporters, Trump said, "There were gunshots in my vicinity, but before rumors start spiraling out of control, I want you to hear this first. I am safe and well. Nothing will slow me down. I will never surrender," the former president said. Trump's running mate, Ohio U.S. Senator J.D. Vance, posted on X that he spoke to the former president before the news became public and said he was amazingly in good spirits. Vance said that there was still a lot we don't know about this incident, they said. Man, Trump coming out, you guys, and saying, I am well. I am good, despite this second assassination attempt. And here's a little bit more information specifically on Trump regarding this and him being well. Now, do me a favor. If you appreciate the updates, don't forget to take a quick second, hit that like button before I dive into this article coming out here. Hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. I'll keep you guys up to speed on all the information that is coming out, as again, today, second assassination attempt taking place on Trump. Now, if you support Trump, you're happy that he is well, and you'd like to see him in the presidency, go ahead and put a 45 in the comments to show your support for Trump. And while you're doing that, like I said, do me a quick favor, hit that like button for me. And let's go ahead and take a look at this article, giving a little bit more on the response coming out from former President Donald Trump as to what unfolded. Donald Trump was targeted Sunday of what appears to be an attempted assassination at his golf club in West Palm Beach, Florida, the FBI said. Just 9 weeks after the Republican presidential nominee survived another attempt on his life, the former president said that he was safe and well, and authorities held a man in custody. U.S. Secret Service agents posted a few holes up from where Trump was playing, noticed the muzzle of an AK-style rifle sticking through the shrubbery that lines the course roughly 400 yards away. An agent fired, and the gunman dropped the rifle and fled in an SUV, leaving the firearm behind, along with 2 backpacks, a scope used for aiming, a GoPro. Palm Beach County Sheriff's Rick Bradshaw said the man was later then taken into custody in a neighboring county. It was the latest jarring moment in a campaign year marked with unprecedented upheaval. On July 13th, Trump was shot during a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, and a bullet grazed his ear. 8 days later, Democratic President Joe Biden withdrew from the race, giving way for Vice President Kamala Harris to become the party's nominee. And it was sure to add the questions about the Secret Service protective operations after the agency admitted failures in preventing the attempted assassination of Trump this summer. Now, in an email, to the supporters, Trump said, and here it is again, "There were gunshots in my vicinity, but before rumors start spiraling out of control, I want you to hear this first. I am safe and well. Nothing will slow me down. I will never surrender." He returned to Mar-a-Lago, his private club in Palm Beach, where he lives, according to a person familiar with Trump's movements, who was not authorized to discuss them publicly and spoke on conditions of anonymity. It was not immediately clear whether the incident would affect his campaign schedule. He was set to speak from Florida about cryptocurrencies live on Monday night on the social media site X for the launch of his son's crypto platform. He planned a town hall Tuesday in Flint, Michigan, with his former press secretary, Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, followed by a rally Wednesday on New York's Long Island. An email to Trump's campaign staffers obtained by the Associated Press said, "This is not a matter that we take lightly. Your safety is always our top priority. We ask that you remain vigilant in your daily comings and goings. As we enter the last 50 days of President Trump's campaign, we must remember that we will only be able to save America from those who seek to destroy it by working together as one team." Now, Biden and Harris were briefed and would be kept updated on the investigations. The White House said that they were, quote, relieved to know that Trump was safe. Harris said in a statement also, "Violence has no place in America." In the aftermath, Trump checked in with allies, including running mate Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, and several Fox News hosts. The Fox News host Sean Hannity recounted on air his conversation with Trump and the former president's with the former president's golf partner Steve Witkoff. They told Hannity they had been on the 5th hole and about to go up to putt when they heard pop, pop, pop. Within seconds, he said, Witkoff recounted, Secret Service agents pounced on top of Trump and covered him to protect him. So they heard gunshots. They jumped on top of Trump. Trump had returned to Florida this weekend from a West Coast swing that included a Friday night rally in Las Vegas and a Utah fundraiser. His campaign had not advised about any public plans for Trump on Sunday. He often spends the mornings playing golf before having lunch at the club, one of 3 that he owns in the state. He has had a stepped-up security footprint since the assassination attempt back in July, when he has been at Trump Tower in New York. Parked dump trucks have formed a wall outside of the building. At outdoor rallies, he now speaks from behind an enclosure and bulletproof glass. The Florida golf course was partially shut down for Trump as he played, but there are several areas around the perimeter of the property where the golfers are visible from the fence line. Secret Service agents and officers in golf carts and on ATVs generally secure the area several holes ahead and behind Trump when he plays. Agents also usually bring an armored vehicle onto the course to shelter Trump quickly should a threat arise. The Palm Beach County Sheriff said the entire golf course would have been lined with law enforcement if Trump were the president, but because he is not, security is limited to the areas that the Secret Service deem possible. I would imagine that the next time he comes to the golf course, there will probably be a little more people around the perimeter, Bradshaw said. But the Secret Service did exactly what they should have done. They provided exactly what protection they should have been, and their agents did a fantastic job, they said in a statement. Former presidents and their spouses have Secret Service protection for life, but the security around the former president varies according to the threat levels and exposure, with the toughest typically being in the immediate aftermath of them leaving office. Trump's protective details has been higher than some other former presidents because of his high visibility and his campaign to seek the White House yet again. The man in custody was Ryan Ruth. 3 law enforcement officials told the Associated Press. The officials who identified the suspects spoke on conditions of anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the ongoing investigation. The FBI was leading the investigation and was working to determine any motives from the attempted assassin. Attorney General Merrick Garland was receiving regular updates. Agents with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives were helping investigate. The FBI has reported to West Palm Beach, Florida, and is investigating what appears to be an attempted assassination of the former president, the Bureau said. News reporters were not with Trump on Sunday, bucking tradition. Trump's campaign has not arranged to have a protective pool of reporters travel with him, as is standard for major party nominees and for the president. Harris does not have a protective pool at all times, but does allow reporters to travel with her for public events. Martin County Sheriff William D. Snyder said that the suspect was apprehended within minutes of the FBI, Secret Service, and Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office putting out a very urgent BOLO, or be on the lookout alert, detailing the specific vehicle sought, license plate number, and description of the occupant. Snyder said that the deputies immediately flooded northbound I-95, deploying to every exit between the Palm County line to the south and to the St. Lucia County line to the north. One of my road patrol units saw the vehicle, matched the tags, and we set on the vehicle, Snyder said. We pinched in on the car, got it safely stopped, and got the driver in custody. Snyder told WPTV that the suspect was not armed when we took him out of the car. The man had a calm, flat demeanor and showed little emotion when he was stopped by police, Snyder said, saying the suspect did not question why he was being pulled over. He never asked, "What is this about?" Obviously, law enforcement with long rifles, blue lights, a lot going on. He never questioned it, Snyder said. So absolutely incredible updates coming out, you guys. More details coming out on this. Trump letting everybody know that he is safe after the second assassination attempt on his life. Today, September the 15th, 2024, and more details coming out about Ryan Wesley Ruth, the individual that they said was trying to assassinate Donald Trump today. But again, like I let you know, we actually saw several responses coming out from members of Congress, and we saw individuals saying today, yet again, God has kept his hand on Donald Trump, keeping him safe. And I see the prayer hands coming in, people saying prayers for Donald Trump. Absolutely incredible, you guys. So that is the latest details coming out. More coming out throughout the course of the day regarding the attempted assassin, what has unfolded, Trump giving a statement. And again, do me a favor, if you appreciate the updates, please take a second, hit that like button. Just about 140 more likes would get us to 1,000. That would be awesome. Just helps spread this out further so that way more people can get the latest updates as to what is going on, as we had another assassination attempt going on with former President Donald Trump. Absolutely incredible, you guys. So like I said, though, I will continue to keep you up to speed here on the channel. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button to stay up to date. It's totally free. And I see somebody saying that Ryan Ruth used to be with the Ukrainians. Yes. That's the information coming out, that he is saying that he supports what's going on, that we should be sending people over to fight in the war. And I see Teresa saying it's spiritual warfare, Steve. I will continue to pray for you. Thank you for that. I appreciate the prayers. Yes, and a lot of people reaching out to me with support after the issue with I had a stalker coming after me all over social media the past couple weeks. Now I'm that individual. Thank you for all of your support, all of you that watched that video and responded to it. That individual has deleted a lot of their hate and stopped a lot of their harassment. So I appreciate that a ton. Thank you for your prayers and your support. I will continue to keep you guys up to date on everything. So again, do me a favor, hit that like button. 50 more likes, we'll have 1,000 on this live. Subscribe to stay up to date, and also additional resources linked for you guys down below, just in case you want to prepare for whatever is coming, because things are definitely intense right now. We are hearing we could be on the brink of World War III. There's tons of diseases that are going around. And also, we've got elections just about like 50 days away, you guys, and a second assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump today, September the 15th, 2024. So a lot going on, you guys. I appreciate the praying hands, the support. I'll keep you up to speed on everything. Smash that like button, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.